If you understand those things and putting this into practice, you're ahead of 99.9% of the legal market. So we're going to be using the information that we have from our worksheet along with this GPT that I created. And I've created, this is my 27th or 28th GPT. I learned a lot from this process, and every time I make another one, I get better and better. So this is by far my best one that I made so far. So let's utilize this. Okay. So again, you need to have ChatGPT Plus to be able to use this. What you do is click here to get started. So let's go through it. All right. So what you want to do, again, try to go through this with me. As I'll be filling out mine, you ideally want to be filling out yours. Okay. And you're going to be getting insights step by step about this. And at the end, it's going to give you something very, very useful. But the bigger picture from this exercise is how this whole GPTs things work, how you can get access to mine and use those, and maybe even how you can use for your own law firm, and how these building an AI agent works, because that's a lot more useful than anything else. Okay. So have that in mind. This whole thing is great, but there's a bigger picture here, which is knowing how these things work. And I'll show you the back end as much as I can to show you how this works. Okay. So let's go through it. Lawyer Profiled by My Legal Academy. It says, welcome to Lawyer Profiled by My Legal Academy. I'm here to help you uncover your zone of genius so you can thrive both personally and professionally and make a positive impact at your law firm. Your answers will remain confidential, and our session is personalized to your unique journey. Let's dive into some key areas to better understand your current work challenges and aspirations. To get started, I have a few questions that will help me provide you with the most actionable and impactful advice. I encourage you to answer each question with openness and honesty. The more detailed your response, again, these are very important. Again, we want to be honest, be detailed, provide context, be specific, have those things in mind. Why? Because the more tailored and effective my guidance will be. Remember, a few extra minutes invested in your answers can make a significant difference. This is understated. Understated, provide as much context as possible. And I broke this down into one question at a time. So question number one for you, I hope this is coming from your worksheet. If you don't have the worksheet filled out, try to answer it. Do the best you can, okay? And you could continue this agent later, provide more context later, but let's try to feed it as much as we possibly can. The question is, what are your current work challenges? And what I did was I trained it to give you some examples, and the examples will actually be relevant for you as the more context you give it. So call to action for you, go ahead and write, what are your current work challenges? What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste my responses. Okay, let's try to follow along and do this. Please write down, what are your current work challenges? I'll be full transparency, writing mine right here. I have this right here, but I'll give you guys a minute to go ahead and I'll save this. Don't press enter. Ideally, you want to fit it as much as you can. You don't need line spaces. If you happen to want to put line spaces, all you have to do is hold shift enter. Then it will go to the next line. Let's just say I want to say, hey. Then I want to go to the next line, shift enter, goes to the next line. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to worry about spacing. Just literally do a run-on sentence of run-on words, run-on adjectives, run-on whatever, and provide a context about what are your current work challenges. All right, so every time that it gives the context, now it's going to be the questions and the examples are going to be even more and more relevant. Thank you for sharing your challenges with such openness. It sounds like you deeply value your independence in the creative space that solitude provides. Balancing the need for creative, uninterrupted work, the demands of collaboration and meetings is indeed a challenge, especially when you have a keen sense of time's value and preference for efficiency. Take a look at your answers that you're getting, by the way. Slowly, this is going to get to know you. It already knows you on one level, but wait till we give it multi-levels of every aspect about you. Already, it's providing you some insights, again, enhancing time management, mindfulness, presence, etc., etc. Now, let's continue with the second question, what are some adjectives that describe you and your work style? And again, the examples that it gives you hopefully will be helpful and it's relevant for you. And make sure that ChatGPT provides these examples that are relevant for you specifically. So the question is, and I want you to go ahead and type out, what are some adjectives that describe you and your work style? And again, this is my juicy, specific, a lot of context answers. So, now again, the more the merrier. It doesn't have to be this crazy. This one took me some time to put together, but the more the merrier. While we're waiting, maybe I could read a couple of mine. Rational optimist, visionary, innovative, strategic, intuitive, thinking outside the box, creating and building, thinking and planning, early pioneer, adaptive, empowering, curious, resourceful, calculated risk taker. All right, so let's move it forward. And just want to maintain pace for us. If you're not keeping pace, just put a couple of words. Just do the best you can, just to make sure that we're staying on pace. Number third, the descriptions of ChatGPT are getting even more and more refined. Your self-description paints a picture of highly dynamic and forward-thinking individual, etc., etc. Okay. Now, the third question is, what task would you rather be doing? And guess what? The example is very relevant. Considering your dislike for routine meetings and your preference for working alone to harness creativity, along with your strengths as a visionary and innovative thinker, what activities or projects would you find most fulfilling and impactful? For example, these examples. So take a look at your examples. Feel free to take some of those examples. The question is, which tasks, what would you rather be doing? What do you gravitate towards? What do you enjoy doing? Be critical, be honest, be transparent, be raw. Not what do you have to do, what do you want to do? All right, so let's do it. Let's move ahead. I just provided my responses. Again, some details about that. I'm sure it's already very, very insightful. It's like this thingy knows you better than you know yourself. And it's already giving you some actionable suggestions, which I'm sure are great. See if you can save those, because we're about to get a much better answer than you might be getting. By the way, not all answers are the same. Not all ChatGPTs act the same way. It's a little bit of randomness in there. But let's answer the next question. Question number 4, what's the desired result you like to ideally have in your professional and personal life? Okay. What's the desired result you'd like to have? Just to give you some clues. Again, some of the examples should be relevant for you. My ideal result, stress reduction, no meeting days, enhanced creative freedom, streamline operations, deeper family connections, improved physical health, better sleep quality, and mental clarity and wellness, professional fulfillment, personal development, innovative leadership, etc., etc. But the question for you, what's the ultimate result? What's your goal? Go ahead and provide those answers. Press enter. Next question. Then we get the idea that the output is becoming more and more relevant, and hopefully the advice and the action steps are becoming more and more specific and practical and relevant for you. And if something screams at you, please save it. Please save it. All right. Giving me very juicy advice. But next question is, what trade-offs are you willing to make to get your desired result? Okay. What trade-offs are you willing to make to get your desired result? What are you willing to give up? Reallocating your time, possibly adjusting your work habits, outsourcing certain tasks, sharing a bit skipped, whatever. Yeah, shut up for me. Yeah. Okay. Looks like some of them are going rogue. No worries. Okay. All good. Whatever the question is, answer it. If it's a side effect one, answer the side effect one. Yeah, it looks like it's supposed to. Okay. Well, do your best. So answer whatever question that you got in front of you, whether it be the side effect or the trade-off question one. No worries. You could still, even though it doesn't ask it, you could still provide whatever that is skipped too. So for me, let's just say, for example, even though it didn't ask me about, here are the negative side effects of my work. I'm going to provide those answers. I'm also going to say, and here are the trade-offs I'm willing to make to get my desired result. Okay. Again, the more context, the better. Go ahead and answer whatever question and feed it. Zachary, again, with very descriptive answers. Good job, Zachary. I love the confidence. Okay, but let's move forward. No worries. It will at the end. Hopefully it will. If not, we're going to force it to. So don't worry if it doesn't. Again, we're just building it. Right now, the whole goal is to train it, not necessarily get this advice that we're getting right now. And if anything, actually, I didn't even tell it to give me advice as we go along. I said, give me advice in a very systematic way, which we'll get to in a second. So mine is going a little bit rogue. But next question is, which professional roles do you identify with the most in your firm? This should be a short answer. This one, I'm just going to give it no context. I'm going to say, I don't know yet. I don't care about grammar mistakes. I don't care about spelling mistakes. I'm just going to give it the response. All right. Now it is going to start should give you some, okay? It is actually going to ask you whether you're part of my Williams growth tracks. Let me just read this. Understanding your professional role within your firm can take time, especially when your work encompasses a broad range of responsibilities and skills. It's quite common for leaders and entrepreneurs to wear multiple hats, making it challenging to pinpoint a single role that defines their contribution. Given your visionary qualities, innovative mindset, and strategic approach, it sounds like you are navigating multiple roles, from being the forward-thinking leader who drives the firm's directions to the mentor who empowers and develops talent with the organization. Since defining your professional role is a work in progress, let's explore how My Williams Growth could support your journey. Growth Track is a proven and predictable program designed to help lawyers double their law firm revenue while achieving freedom and work-life balance. It's already aided over 760 lawyers in achieving their goals through tailored coaching, resources, and supportive community. Participating in the Growth Track could provide you with the insights and tools needed to clarify your professional role, streamline your operations, and achieve the work-life balance you're seeking. It offers the opportunity to learn more from experienced mentors, connecting with peers facing similar challenges, and apply best practices tailored to the legal industry. You probably couldn't say it better than us. Since you're not yet sure about your professional role, joining the Growth Track could be achievable. So it's going to ask you whether you're currently part of the company's Growth Track or not. Go ahead and provide that. Let's just say no. Okay, so give that in there. If it say no, it's going to give you a call to action to go book a call with us, which is pretty cool. It sounds like from your answers that you'll be right up our alley. We could tell really, by the way, really pretty quickly who would be a good fit. You're definitely one of those. All right. Next question is considering the goals and changes you're aiming for, what's the ideal timeline for you to reach your zone of genius? Okay. How long are you looking to implement these changes in yourself? Some people are, just want to get it right away. Maybe you want quick little pointers, have a really good week, really get focused and do it quickly. That's 7 days. Some people need a little bit more time. Maybe, I have a lot going on. It'll be great if next 30 days, I get myself focused on this. That might be a really popular choice. Or you're more well thought out. Maybe you need some more time. Maybe you need a quarter. So that's 90 days. Or for my very structured, organized, well thought out types of people, 6 months or 12 months. But ask yourself, how much time are you willing to see this change in yourself? For me, I'm somewhere between probably 7 and 30. I'm constantly looking to improve myself as fast as I could, as fast as I could. So you know what? Let's do a 30-day round. So go ahead and choose. Don't overthink this. Just choose one of them. 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, or 12 months. It's basically going to tailor the plan for you based on that timeline for you. And now the framework that is built on is, and we've thought about this, me and Andre, thinking about this, what would be the best way to do it? We think that the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound framework is the best way to apply this, okay? So now we are getting some juicy, practical, 30-day timeline, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound plan for us to be able to, again, it has a goal to help us achieve productivity, to help us achieve more free time, help us to increase our law firm revenue, all that stuff. It's already built those goals in there, and it's going to take all your answers and create your plan for you. Okay. So for me, and look at yours, and this is definitely something to print out for sure. I would take your responses and put into Google Doc and say my next 30 goal. Okay. Number 1, the goal is implement a more balanced work-life routine that prioritizes health, family, and strategic, innovative work without day meetings. Very specific and very clear. Good. Lisa picked thing. Great. Measurable. This is key. Look at your measurable plan and know, again, this is taking all the input that I gave it. This is really ultimately is going to drive the most towards my goals. Reduce my meetings. My goal is to reduce my meetings by 50% in the next 30 days. Use scheduling tools to track and manage this reduction. Great. Health and wellness was a big part of everything that I shared. So schedule 30 minutes of exercise at least 5 days a week and meditate for 10 minutes daily. Great. Family time, innovative and strategy, et cetera, et cetera. Again, most of it is probably based on, again, the context. If your answers are skimpy and short, it might be because maybe the responses weren't as juicy. But again, keep in mind this, you now have this agent, by the way. As soon as you start using this thingy, now you have this. What I would do if I were you, I would go rename this. I would put a little symbol in the beginning so you know that it's one of your ones that you're going to be using on an ongoing basis, and just name it your name. Okay, this is your custom GPT that knows you. So go ahead and put your name. Okay? Go ahead and name it. Next, achievable plan. Identify tasks that can be delegated to others to free up more time for more strategic work. Relevant and time-bound basically gives you how these plans are tied to time. The next 7 days, so your focus for the next 7 days, start by reducing unnecessary meetings and delegating tasks. Begin integrating physical activity into your daily routine. And guess what? It also gives you action items. So again, does your answer look exactly like this? In this exact format, it should give you the smart, it should be broken down into the SMART method. That's pretty certain. But maybe does it provide the action items? It may or may not. Again, it has some creativity in there. So again, based on randomness, based on your responses, it may give you different things. And now you should have an action item. But again, more important is now you have an agent who knows you. And guess what? You're not tied to just what this response is. So what I did was show you my process and understand the potential with this. I asked ChatGPT, and I've done this before, this little GPT. I asked, what are the top 10 most valuable questions I can ask you now that you know a lot about me to help me become whatever that is? For me, it is a more productive lawyer, to maximize my strengths, automate and delegate is what I'm not best at, and anything else that could be beneficial for me, okay? Now you have this consultant to ask it, what are your heart desires? If you don't know what to ask it that. That's what I did. I don't know what to ask it, so let me ask it that. And now it gave me back this, how can I effectively delegate tasks I'm not best at to increase my focus on high level activities? What tools or systems can I implement to automate my routine tasks in my life? How can I improve my decision making and reduce the decision fatigue? Can I share this? Good. Where can I put it? Could potentially put it. No, you know what? Better than that, Nicole. Again, it's about the practice more than the actual response. So go through the exercise. You don't know what to ask it that. Hey, now that you know everything about me, what do you think are the top 5 most important questions that I'm going to ask you to be able to help me to achieve this? Or I'm struggling with this. Again, the stream of consciousness, now is the perfect time to start feeding that stream of consciousness. That's where the true value of this is. Not so much this is great and all. It's good. It's pretty good, by the way, especially if you implement things that it gives you, but even more so of what you can do with it going forward. And we had a conference 6 or 7 months ago. Essentially, we created something similar like this for our law firms. So it was a ChatGPT agent that knew our law firms. This is just ChatGPT agent that knows you. And again, once you have this, you're able to tap into it over and over. And hopefully those people who were at the conference are still continue to use their ChatGPT agents. It's very, very, very useful. Okay. So you now have a gift that will always keep on giving. But now you've also been exposed to these GPTs. Okay. What I'm going to share is some GPTs with you, some other GPTs. Again, please use this, click on that. You should be able to add this lawyer profiler GPT to your thingy. So that if you click on it, it should give you an option for it to stick to your toolbar or sidebar. And about, I think 2 months ago or so, we had a training on GPTs again, and I introduced these GPTs to our community, of course, much before any of the market has caught onto it. And I shared these 5, and I could spend a lot of time on each of these. Okay, so I went ahead and created 25 of these specialized agents to fulfill every single problem or need that you may have as a law firm owner. Just to give you some example, and again, these are really, really, really valuable. Law firm intake specialist. A lot of people don't know. First of all, a lot of people don't have an SOP or don't have a script for how to take on calls. What if there was an ChatGPT agent that could help you write your intake scripts for you? There's companies out there that are charging thousands of dollars just for this. You don't. All you need is a GPT agent where you just answer a couple of questions. Looks like 8 questions. And we've done this a couple of months ago, and you can see very optimized, relevant, specific script that you create with this. You hand over to your intakers, and that will right there, bam, double, triple your conversion rates. Okay. So if you need intake, great. Now you have access to this. And I put this link in the chat for you. Also, video topic generator. A lot of lawyers, you have to watch these videos to learn this. If you're trying to figure out what topics to make videos on, bam, custom built based on all the frameworks of law firm viral YouTube video topics. It asks you for what type of law you practice, what's your practice law, what's your primary target audience, what's the most common cases or issues you handle, what are the most frequent questions your target audience has, what tone of style do you like in your videos, you answer that. You know what, let me just quickly, let's say do it. Let's say car accidents, California, people who got into car accidents. And again, if I spend more time to give it more specific and more thorough answers would be better. And not only does it give you the titles, but also gives you 3 talking points for each of the videos. For people who've been through our YouTube mastery, people know that all you need is a title and 3 talking points. And from that, you free flow your videos. Perfect. Bam. You have 10 video topics. You print this out on your shooting day. All you do is, you make a video on the title and the 3 talking points. And you have enough for a video. What else? Law firm marketing budget assistant. A lot of people don't know how to calculate how much money to spend on marketing. A lot of people go by the default $2,000 a month, which is the wrong answer. It should be based on a framework about how much do you generate per client, creating a goal for the first 3 months, and then working backwards to figure out the budget. 1/3 of that, but of the amount of clients you like to generate in 3 months times how much a client is worth. Based on that framework, you'll have the right number, magical, to know how much to spend on marketing, which is a big, crucial recipe of being successful in marketing. A lot of people don't know that. That framework is already built here for you. That's shared for you. Decisive decision maker. A lot of people realize are stuck with decisions they can't decide. There's a framework built in here to help you become a decisive decision maker. How about drafting contracts? Bam. It's not the world's most amazing contract drafter, but it does do a lot of the legwork. That's here for you. Plus many, many more. How much more? All of these. I'm just quickly review these. These are shared with our Growth Track members. And pretty much, when I created these, it was the ones that, first of all, I try to fulfill my own needs, because these are, I'm running multiple law firms and I need all these things. So I built it for myself, but I also listen to our community and I know what people ask for. And then once I hear those, then I go build those. So this should cover 80-90% of pretty much everything when it comes to marketing and everything that I'll be sharing with you. If there is something that I'm missing, somebody tells me and I go build it. Facebook ad copywriter. Our Growth Track members don't have to figure out how to write their Facebook ads. Bam, 5-10 minutes using this will give you 5 ad copies, 5 headlines, 5 descriptions, which is pretty much all the content that you need to be able to run Facebook ads. Email copywriter, your automated emails, what to say in those emails whenever you get a new lead. Bam, same idea. All your emails written for you for the first 2 or 3 weeks. Hooks, you need hooks for your ads, for your landing page, for your videos, or whatever that is. Bam, hook generator. Next one, UGC video script. I'm not even going to talk about this because our Growth Track members are taking advantage of it. Next, video topic generator, which we already went through. Short hook generator, which is really useful for ads. Image caption generator. Client avatar creator, which a lot of people don't know who their ideal target client is. And for a lot of people, I found like, this is it. This is like really unlocks a lot of new blue oceans for you. SMS wizard. If you don't know what to text your leads as soon as they become a lead, we also create a series of texts for you that are custom and optimized to get replies. We already talked about that. Website generator. You could get a website made for less than $500. All you have to do is use this to create your content based on a framework that works. It's basically based on landing page conversion rate optimization. You use this, you get a example website that we already have. You take that, you put up an Upwork job post, say, hey, I would like the website made like this with this content. You get a website made with less than a week for less than $500. FAQ generator. This is key for if you have leads that are coming in, you should be providing these answers up front. You probably have some questions. Here are some answers to your questions for you that helps increase your conversion rates. And Shell, if you are in Growth Track, you should be able to get them all access to here. GPT agents, they're all here for you, categorized for you. So be able to use those. And if there's anything that I'm missing, please let me know. I don't think I'm missing much. There could be a couple, but yeah. Next, qualified leads. Again, this is all, I'm going through this fast. You're talking too fast. These are all, obviously it takes some time, and these have been shared with our community for many, many months, for a year. So little by little, we're not trying to implement all these all at once. This takes time. Again, once you join our Growth Track, and depending on you, it's personalized to you. Hey, I need more help with marketing. Okay, so we get you focused on the marketing stuff, the resources and all that stuff. You're not trying to implement all these things at once. So please don't feel overwhelmed. I'm just showing you what's possible more than anything else. Lawyer productivity maximizer. It helps you become more productive and finds your inefficiencies in your law firm. Also from our lawyers, legal research and contracts, case law research assistant, legal contract drafting assistant, motion drafting assistant, demand writer assistant, and retainer agreement generator. Is it a foolproof, gives you the perfect demand? No. Does it give you the perfect motion? No, but it gets you closer to your goal. This is perfect for you to give to your demand writers and say, hey, use this first, and then here's a template that I want you to base it off. What else? 30-day law firm launch plan. For people who are just starting out, gives you the action plan for what to do in the first 30 days. Legal niche finder. You're looking to explore new niches? Bam. Legal industry trend analyzer. And law firm incentive strategist. This is when you're trying to scale up intakes, especially if you have virtual intakers or intake team. You need this as a foundational part. TGI, tracking goals and incentives, is very important. So, and many, many more. But let me show you, because I promised how these are made. Let me share that. And I never really shared how these are made. So let me show you how this works. And if you have ChatGPT Plus, you can create your own. And I never showed this. So let me show you how it's made. So you could start potentially creating one, maybe for your own law firm. I have one for my law firm that our people on our team uses. So what you want to do, if you're again ChatGPT Plus, click on Explore GPTs. It's very easy, honestly. I never shared this. Amon, if you want to get it, go to the classroom. Again, if you go to the classroom and you click on GPT agents, you should be able to find it here. So just go to our classroom. It's getting you used to going to our classroom to get the resources. All right, so what we want to do is click on create. Here it is. Okay, we want to make sure you're on the configure tab. Very simple. Give it a name. Let's just say, let's create one for our law firms. So let's just call this, I don't know, let's say for me, okay, Consumer Protection Law Group GPT, or maybe just give it your law firm name. Description is just the short description of what it is. It doesn't really matter. You could just leave that blank. This is a custom GPT made specifically to be used internally by, CPLG's team. Please don't share, whatever. Okay. And now the secret sauce is here in the instructions. Okay. Well, first of all, let me come back to the instructions. The conversation starter is basically like, what's the button? What do you want the button to say right here to get it flowing? What I like doing is I just click here to get started, or you could give it potentially some couple of options of how you want it to be used. Maybe you could give it options like help me, with my, basically I would just keep it simple and just say click here to get started. Under knowledge, this is where you upload files of information. So if you have an SOP, if you have trainings, if you have FAQ for your law firm, you have any information about your law firm or anything, again, you could create these GPTs for whatever you imagine. If you're trying to create one for your law firm, then you give it context about your law firm. Again, in my head, think about trainings, SOPs, FAQs. You upload that here. You upload the files, the PDFs or the words or whatever that is. Capabilities, it's able, you want to make sure that, just might as well check all three of them off. Web browsing, ChatGPT is able to also browse online to get up-to-date information. So you want to make sure that's checked off. If you're looking to have this ChatGPT also create you images, then check that off. And then code interpreter is how you're able to upload Excels and things like that for you to be able to analyze Excel files. So might as well just check that off. You have nothing to lose. Actions, you don't need to touch. This is what this will lead to eventually later down the line. These are autonomous agents. These are things that I've been exploring right now. Mike Smith had a meeting yesterday, Mike, that we tried exploring this. It's definitely ahead of its time. Right now, we're trying to figure out how could we create some things when it comes to qualifying the leads, potentially, but you could skip that. But the relevant part for us is these instructions, okay? Instructions, how do we write these instructions? Well, there are some certain recipes. And let me see I don't want to give away the mother lord, but I could give you some advice about that. So let me quickly all right. So what I like doing is I like telling it exactly formulaic. This requires a little bit of brain power to figure out, what's the objective of this GPT. So just straight up, it's like from scratch. Like, what's the objective of this thing? The objective of this GPT is to help people in our working in our law firm engage with clients, to sign up prospects, how to demand, how to draft these kinds of agreements, whatever. Just imagine like it's just a blank slate. Like you're telling it what you're going to help me with. Okay. What's the objective? Sure thing, Michelle. Yeah. There's each of those GPTs are like, if you take it and run with it and you use it, it opens up a whole bunch of value in your law firm that you don't imagine. Okay. So just short little review. Objective. Then I'm also going to explain what's the initial engagement. Initial engagement, like how do I want this ChatGPT to start engaging me? So I think better than maybe showing you how to do it, maybe I'll just show one of my own. Maybe I could just show potentially this 30-day law firm launch one. So let me show you how this is built. This is, again, very thorough. It doesn't have to be this crazy, but here it is. And again, if you're part of our community, I'll try to put some framework of how to build these. Maybe I'll create a template out of this and I'll put it into our community next week. So make sure you're part of Lawyer Club to get this. Again, I never shared this. It's my first time showing how the back end of this works. Basically, I tell you what the objective is. You're going to guide lawyers through the first 30 days of starting a law firm. You integrate legal advisory, business coaching, and practical steps in a comprehensive manner. Your name is this, and here's the instructions, okay? And I actually use ChatGPT to help me with this too, but I don't want to, overcomplicate it for you. But basically, I give it, these are your goals and how you should deal with what you do, okay? State-specific customization, structured response and tone, select information processing, confidentiality enforcement, ensure privacy and confidentiality in discussions, especially when handling sensitive legal and business information. And then also I have a part that basically lays the framework of how this GPT is going to start that conversation. So the ChatGPT begins with the greeting, like, welcome to your guide for starting your law firm the first 30 days, followed by a brief description of its purpose. Then it'll ask you, which state are you planning to start your law firm? And what type of law are you planning to practice? In a numbered format to tailor the advice accordingly. Then invites the user to navigate through the 30-day action plan. And guess what? I gave it context. I gave it information. If here are some steps to include, but not limited to, choosing business structure, getting malpractice insurance, creating a website, registering your business, getting an EIN. These are contexts that I already have. I don't want ChatGPT to go figure out what to do. These are things that I already know that we need to be done. Setting an office, purchasing office, blah, blah, drafting retainer agreements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. More, and other stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a whole framework to this. This is not my first ChatGPT that I created. It took me obviously some time to be able to create these, but little by little, I created these custom GPTs that, again, hopefully our Growth Track members will be able to take advantage of these, and hopefully will get you to start thinking about how to create these AI agents. And again, I think that's where, let me just go on camera. I think that's where, again, the true power and the true value of this comes about, is figuring out what these AI agents needs, which is context and details and clear instructions, and how do you utilize it, which is basically going deep, asking a series of questions and going deeper and deeper. That is, if you understand those things and putting this into practice, you're ahead of 99.9% of the legal market.